Hi friends, this is Peggy Noe from PrettyPaperCards.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here today to show you the adorable new Daisy Lane bundle. It consists of a Daisy Lane stamp set and the medium daisy punch. Now we've already had for about a year the daisy punch, and now we're adding to that the medium daisy punch, and the stamp set has two different stamps that work with both of those punches. So let's get started. This is the card we're going to make today. It says the best moments in my life happen with you, and it includes some darling daisies. So let's see what papers you need. First of all, you need a card base of Whisper White cardstock, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then we're using a piece of Come Sail Away Designer Series paper. This is another new design. This is another new item. It's a Designer Series paper, and this is cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. You'll need a piece of Balmy Blue cardstock, which is cut at 3 1/8 by 4 5/8, and I'll have all these measurements for you down below. A piece of Whisper White cardstock that is cut at 3 by 4 1/2, and then some scraps of Daffodil Delight cardstock to punch the daisies. And what I've done is I've just made some 2-inch strips so that I can punch them, and a scrap of Whisper White cardstock to punch the sentiment. So let's get started. I think we'll just go ahead and stamp first. So let's stamp our daisies first. Now I've gone ahead and made one daisy altogether in advance, just so I didn't have to do that. So we have here's the daisy stamp, and I'm using Daffodil Delight ink. Now I have to confess something. I put my label on crazy. I think I wasn't paying attention. So it looks a little crazy, but it stamps just fine. That was my mistake. So I'm just going to stamp a daisy right there, and because I've already done the other one, that's all I need to do. We're going to punch it out with the new daisy, medium daisy punch, and you just need to line up the little petals. It's not even hard. Just line up those petals and punch. Okay. And now I have already pre-punched 2 other plain daisies. You can do it in any way you want, but what I did is I used two plain cardstock daisies and one I stamped. You can stamp them all. It's completely up to you. Got to get my glasses on here. Okay, so I'm using glue dots to adhere them. You could easily use glue, and if you wanted to build a dimension, you could use Stampin' Dimensionals. But I'm just using glue dots, and all you do is kind of angle it there so it fills in the blanks between petals. And now I'm going to do the second one, really the third one, and I'm just going to angle that in there also. Okay, there we go. So there's you can play around with the angles to get it just the way you want. Now, one thing I did for my card is I kind of fluffed it up, but I also made this thin enough so that you can put it in the mail. All right, so we have our 2 daisies ready to go. The next thing we're going to stamp is our Whisper White cardstock piece that's 3 by 4 1/2. And this is what we're going to put the stem on. This is a super cute stem stamp. Try to say that fast. And I'm using Garden Green. And what I did is I put one over to the left, and then I'm going to lower this one down to that first leaf grouping and turn it a little more to the right, so I can have 2 daisies on there. And I forgot, then the final thing we're going to stamp is our sentiment that says, the best moments in my life happen with you. And I did get this label on correctly, this one in the stem. All right, and we're just going to stamp that sentiment. It's very cute font, and I think it's a nice sentiment for a good friend, someone you go out to lunch with. Now, the sentiment I'm going to punch with my 1.5 inch punch, circle punch. This card does not use any dies. It just uses punches. Those are my uses punches. Those are my favorite kind of cards. All right, now let's try to put our card together. I'm going to use Tombow liquid glue. You know it's my favorite if you've watched any of my videos. Just zip along there with a thin, very, very thin lines. It doesn't take much, and I like it because I can move it around. And so I'm going to move it to get it just centered just the way I want there. Okay, I think that looks good. Next, I'm going to adhere my Whisper White panel onto my Balmy Blue panel. And this one is cut to have just 1/8 of an inch on each side, just a little peeking through of the blue, the Balmy Blue. And I'm going to press that. And now you could lift this up on dimensionals, but I purposely wanted to have this card mailable. So I'm trying to get it a little bit flat, flatter than I might usually. And then we're going to adhere this piece, and it's kind of easy to line up because you've got these beautiful stripes. I really love this striped paper. Okay, now we're ready to put on our daisies. And we're, again, just going to use glue dots. And I'm going to put one right there. And the other one right here. I'm going to fluff them up a little bit. And when they do go, there's a little piece of something there. Okay. When they do go in the mail, they'll flatten down, but the recipient can fluff them up if they want. And then the sentiment we're going to adhere with a dimensional. And I looked here, this is my last dimensional on this little pad, but you know you use all those corners. I definitely do. And it just takes one Stampin' Dimensional, and there's your card. Isn't that adorable? Now for my envelope, I put some daisy stamps on the outside, and also for the one I did, I added a couple of daisies on the inside of the card too, so you can do anything you like. But I think that's just such a cute little card, and it uses this the beautiful new Daisy Lane stamp set and punch, which come as a bundle, and you know that is 10% off. And so I want to offer you today, for the month of June 2019, if you purchase this bundle from me, and you can find my Shop Now button at prettypapercards.com. If you purchase this bundle from me during the month of June 2019, I will send you the materials to create 3 cards from this bundle that I've designed. I will send them to you as soon as I see that you've purchased the bundle, and I'll send you an email letting you know that I'll send the materials to you in the mail, and I'll also include PDF tutorials for you so you know how to make each card. So thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope that you'll follow me on YouTube and go check out my blog at prettypapercards.com. Thank you so much for stopping by. Bye-bye.